Welcome. So today is another episode of my top 100 albums. Today's album is the 1983 album by Def Leppard, Pyromania. Right there. So I'll start talking about this in just a sec. Back. So, like I said in the intro, today's album is Def Leppard's Pyromania, a very big album for me when I was a teenager. Listened to this a ton. So, Def Leppard, they started around 1977. They're from England, Sheffield, and they were part of the new wave of British metal. They had a couple of, before this album, they had a couple of other records, On Through the Night and High and Dry, which were really, both really excellent records too. On Pyromania, they did change their style a little bit to be a little more radio friendly. It's, I mean, the songs on here are like extremely catchy, all the, so they kind of, they went in that direction. The earlier stuff was a little more metalish, but they were also one of the bands that really benefited from MTV, because when they put out this record, their song, particularly Rock of Ages and Photograph, really made an impact on MTV. They were one of the more played, and it started even before Pyromania, because with High and Dry they had the song Bringing on the Heartbreak, and that was one of the earlier videos that MTV ever played, so that really helped get them some exposure going forward, and obviously that would encourage them to do more videos and stuff. So the lineup for this album: Joe Elliott, Steve Clark, Rick Savage, Rick Allen, and Phil Collen. Originally, Pete Willis was one of the guitarists. Phil Collen came in after and replaced him. I believe this was an issue with alcohol, so he got fired from the band. His guitar work on the album was left. Most of it was a lot of rhythm guitar. So when Phil Collen came in, he was mostly doing lead guitar work. He jokingly referred to that as Pete Willis did all the heavy lifting, and he got to come in and do all the fun stuff. So, album was produced by Mutt Lange, as the same as High and Dry was also produced by Mutt Lange. So they, I don't know how many of their records he produced, but he was a big influence in getting them, I think, to where they are, and getting their sound to be probably more radio friendly and stuff. And I mean, they continued that trend with Hysteria. They became more and more of a pop metal, I guess, or hard rock, catchy hard rock type stuff. So yeah. So this album, with all the videos, there was technically four singles: Photograph, Rock of Ages, and Foolin', I believe. And the other one, the fourth one, was Too Late for Love, I believe, but that was only in the United Kingdom. So over here, there was only 3 tracks. But if I recall, growing up, they played all sorts of songs on the radio from this, FM radio. It was just one of those records that was so full of potential hit songs that they almost could have put the whole thing out as a single. Almost every song is a single, really. So I actually had the Photograph 7-inch when I was a kid. Wish I would have kept that. That would have been cool. But yeah, so it starts off with Photograph, which was the first single. Goes into Too Late for Love. Actually, it doesn't. That's not the track order. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's what it says on the back, but that's not the actual track order. And I just remember that from the fact that I've heard this so much. It's Rock Rock Till You Drop is how it starts off, which is a great it kicks off really well with that. It just super fast, just yeah, catchy thing. Then it goes into Photograph, so they ease you in. They kind of rock you a bit, and then they go into the single. Stage Fright comes up next. Another great song. Too Late for Love, slower song. Very good melody. It's the reason it was also a single. Then you got Die Hard the Hunter, which is a longer and more epic track. Good song too. Side 2 kicks off with Foolin', which is kind of a slower one. You know, that's at the start at least, you know. Then it kicks into Rock of Ages, which is, I think, the biggest single off of this. The Rock of Ages was a huge song. Then you got Coming Under Fire, Action Not Words, and then it ends with Billy's Got a Gun. So all good songs, phenomenal songs, really. Yeah, and they really became, I think, the biggest band of that. Who came out of that sort of new wave of British metal. I mean, there's a lot of great bands that did, but as far as like mainstream success, I don't think anything's bigger than Def Leppard really out of that whole group. So yeah, this is one of my all-time favorites. And when it came out, I mean, I played the hell out of it. I mean, endlessly playing this record. And tape, I probably had it in multiple formats because that's how it went back then. And after I had heard this for so long, then I went back and I got On Through the Night and High and Dry. I listened to those ones, and that was one of the top bands in the around 83, 84 for me. And still to this day, I still pull it out probably a few times a year and still throw it on because it's just that good. And you know, it brings back some memories too. So anyway, that's it. This is Top 100 albums, and this is Def Leppard Pyromania. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. I also have a website, surfacenoise.ca, and I will link that in the description. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.